Strickland is the most underrated UFC fighter today. There, I said it. This might come out as controversial to a lot of people, saying like they're probably gonna be wondering like how do you think out of everyone Sean Strickland's the most underrated? You were a casual, and you know what? I do think Sean Strickland is the most underrated UFC fighter today because, and a lot of people don't realize about Sean Strickland. He has a lot of things that people forget about. His resume is incredibly good. I'm gonna get into that right now. First off, Brandon Allen just fought Rainer de Ritter at UFC Vancouver last week. Defeated Rainer de Ritter. He's now number 4 in the middleweight division. Before that, defeated Marvin Vettori. Had a bit of a skid before that. Had a bit of a losing streak, but also had 7 wins in a row before that. And even before that win streak, guess who beat him? Sean Strickland TKO'd Brandon Allen. I think he was in round 2 a couple years back. He TKO'd Brandon Allen, and no one's been able to do that to Brandon Allen since. Brandon Allen went on that big, like I just said, big 7. He went on that 7-fight win streak. Had a bit of a downfall, not a bad one, like a bit of a losing streak, and he crawled his way back up, and he beat Marvin Vettori, and he just beat Rainer de Ritter on short notice. And even the people like that beat him, they couldn't even finish Brandon Allen. They couldn't even do that. Sean Strickland did. That Brandon Allen win aged like fine wine. And then we got Nassourdine Imavov. Nassourdine Imavov, that win also aged incredibly good. He fought him at the beginning of 2023, had a good fight with him, beat him through 5 rounds. It was a short notice fight. He just fought Jared Cannonier like 3 weeks back. He fought at back-to-back events. And it was a weight class up at light heavyweight, but still, Sean Strickland, great fight with Nassourdine Imavov, beat him through 5 rounds. And look what Nassourdine Imavov is doing to people now. He literally beat Israel Adesanya, Kyle Bahalio, Jared Cannonier, and Brandon Allen. And he's about to get a UFC title shot. That win aged incredibly well. And then you got even like decent wins, like Abus Magomedov. Abus Magomedov, you might say, like, oh, why is that a good win? At the time Sean Strickland got it, that was a great win. Now Abus Magomedov is like a 50-50 fighter. He just lost to Joe Pyfer. You know, he's like at the edge, like always like the beginning of top 15 at middleweight, or he's just like right at the brink. But yeah, at the time Sean Strickland got the Abus Magomedov win, he was a big prospect coming up. Abus Magomedov just came off a 19-second KO in his debut, and the UFC wanted to push him high up. And Sean Strickland was the one who accepted to fight him in a fight night main event. He was the one that said that I wonder. He's the one that accepted to risk his ranking against Abus Magomedov, a big prospect coming into the middleweight division, and he TKO'd him in round 2. Sean Strickland TKO'd him in round 2, and at the time that was a great win. And then he also had this is the fight that really made people starting to not like Sean Strickland anymore. The Paulo Costa fight. I totally understand about that. Sean Strickland was hyping that fight up a bit way too much. He was like, I'm gonna fucking bleed for you guys. And then it was like not the best fight. I thought it was not I think people were just overreacting of how boring it was. I didn't think it was that boring. Sean Strickland, I think, schooled Paulo Costa through 5 rounds. I can't believe that was a split decision. I can't believe the judge gave Paulo Costa 4 rounds to 1. That is pathetic, by the way. Professional judges of the sport, by the way. But a Paulo Costa win is not bad either. That is a pretty good win. It's not aging bad at all. Paulo Costa win. He only lost to really the top of the division. All his losses were the top of the division, like Robert Whittaker, Sean Strickland himself, Israel Adesanya, Marvin Vettori. I mean, Marvin Vettori is not a good loss to have now. But the other 3, though, they're not bad losses to have. And he just beat Roman Kopylov. Roman Kopylov is a threat, and Paulo Costa just beat him. So that win is decent. Let's not also forget the Israel Adesanya win. I think it's top 5 best UFC title fight wins of all time. And people will say that Sean Strickland is one of the worst UFC champs of all time. Or the worst. He's absolutely not. He is absolutely not. I think he had the top 5 best title fight wins, and I thought he that fought a really good Israel Adesanya. And most people will say, "Oh yeah, but that wasn't the real good Israel Adesanya." Yes, it was. He was coming off that incredible KO win against Alex Pereira, and the reason why I think he just got schooled in that fight by Sean Strickland, not because he had an off night, is because Sean Strickland is a nightmare for kickboxers. If besides the Pereira fight, every other kickboxer Sean Strickland has faced, he is shown to have be a stylistic nightmare for them. In that Israel Adesanya fight, he just schooled him. I think he beat him 4 rounds to 1. The judges gave it to him. Not even 5-0. Not even a stretch. Not even a stretch. He dominated Israel Adesanya. He wasn't afraid of him. Just went in, checking his leg kicks, outstriking him, dominating him through 5 rounds. And that Adesanya he did it to was indeed still in his prime. And he just schooled him through 5 rounds. And he won the title. And no one thought he was going to win that fight. No one thought Sean Strickland was going to beat Israel Adesanya. And he absolutely did. He dominated convincingly. It wasn't a close fight at all. It wasn't like, oh, maybe Adesanya can get these rounds. Maybe he just beat him by like a small margin. No. Sean Strickland schooled him, dominated him. There was no question about it that Sean Strickland won. And that is a great win. That is literally top 5 best title fight wins of all time. But people will call him the worst middleweight or the worst UFC champion of all time, is because he did lose it right after in his first defense to Dricus du Plessis by like a split decision. But that's not a bad loss to have. Dricus du Plessis proved he's a really good fighter at middleweight. He might have the most goofiest style. He might have got dominated by Khamzat Chimaev, but that's Khamzat Chimaev. Come on, Dricus du Plessis is still a very good middleweight, and I could still see him becoming champ again. And Sean Strickland took him to a split decision. It was a close fight the first time. A lot of people thought Sean Strickland won that fight. That fight could have gone either way. I'm not complaining that DDP won that. I don't think it was a robbery. That was just a very close fight. But still, he went to war with him. And DDP showed that he was a good champ. That isn't a bad person to lose to. DDP is high level and he's very good. The Israel Adesanya win itself should just remove Sean Strickland from being one of the worst champs of all time. That was an incredible title win at the time he got it. And even Sean Strickland's middleweight resume, he's never been dominated by anyone. I think besides the Dricus du Plessis rematch, he's never been dominated by anyone. Alex Pereira, yes, did KO him. Alex Pereira did KO Sean Strickland. And Strickland was being so stupid in that fight, leaving his just chin open, just walking to Pereira, leaving his chin open, and then got caught with that left hook. But other than that, though, like even the Jared Cannonier loss, he won that fight, and he didn't even get Sean Strickland beat Jared Cannonier. That was a robbery. That fight, it was close, but Sean Strickland won that fight. And yeah, that's basically no one's dominated him besides DDP and then that KO by Pereira. Sean Strickland is very good. And I don't think he'll become champ again, but I still think he can beat so many of the middleweight contenders today. I think Sean Strickland, like we've seen, he has the cardio, he has the gas tank as well. It's another thing people don't really talk about Sean Strickland enough. About one of his abilities is his gas tank. A lot of people don't talk about his gas tank enough. Abus Magomedov was just drained, and Sean Strickland is just like fresh, just unloading on him, like just wearing him down. The Adesanya fight through 5 rounds, he's not even tired. He's just beating up on Adesanya through 5 rounds. He never gets tired. And if the grappling is as good as Sean Strickland makes it sound like it is, if his grappling is as high level as he makes it sound it is, I honestly think he'd give Khamzat Chimaev a tough fight. A tough fight. I think he'd give him a tough fight, and I think because most people now would be like, oh yeah, Khamzat Chimaev absolutely destroys Sean Strickland. I don't think so. I think Sean Strickland's that guy that if he got taken down by Khamzat Chimaev, and if his grappling, like I said, is as good as he said it was, if he could just keep escaping Khamzat's like positions and everything, like gets out of those dangerous positions, just keeps getting up and then wearing Khamzat with volume, punches, wearing him down through the rounds, he can make it a close fight with Khamzat Chimaev. I think he'd lose. I don't think he'd win, but I think he'd lose by a 48-47 split decision. I honestly think he'd make it very close with him. But people really, I like every time a Sean Strickland fights, they always count him out. I realize that now. Like even if you talked about him with a Chimaev, like in a Chimaev fight, people would say he absolutely does not win. I still think he loses, but he would not just get dominated. He would give Khamzat Chimaev a tough fight, in my opinion. It wasn't like DDP who, okay, DDP obviously didn't have the, like, his grappling level compared to Khamzat Chimaev's was just not good. It was just not good. He couldn't do anything. So Khamzat really couldn't like get gassed. DDP really couldn't do anything against Chimaev in the grappling. Sean Strickland's a fighter that I believe could though, and could give problems to Khamzat Chimaev, like a lot, and actually make Khamzat like, like push Khamzat into deep waters. And I could even see Strickland winning too. Like I said, close decision can go to him, but I most likely see Chimaev winning that fight if that never did happen. But also I think he still beats most contenders. I think oh my god, a Rainer de Ritter fight, I think he beats him. Rainer de Ritter has a horrible gas tank. I honestly can't even trust Rainer de Ritter fighting tons of contenders now because of how shit his gas tank was. I could see Sean Strickland beating Anthony Hernandez. I can see Sean Strickland still beating a Nassourdine Imavov. I can still see Sean Strickland beating a Brandon Allen. He is a top level middleweight that doesn't get talked about enough, and a lot of people and he has, I think, one of the most underrated resumes. His wins always are aging well, and even the wins that are not like the best wins, they're still pretty decent wins. And I think he's actually like one of like the best middleweights today. Like okay, yeah, Sean he's literally number 3 in the division, but I still think he beats most of the division. I don't really think a lot of middleweights stand a chance with him, unless you're Dricus du Plessis, unless you're Khamzat Chimaev. Sean Strickland is that good of a fighter, and I don't think a lot of people really give him the credit he deserves. I get it because he is a very unlikable guy. The personality of him, just the way, like, recently, I can understand why and I think he deserves more respect. Anyways, guys, that is the end of my video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Please like and subscribe, and peace out.